Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's currently 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Just realized I almost used the wrong pen. We almost used a brush pen to warm up. I am possibly... Oh, look at that blue light. Isn't that nice? I am possibly obsessed with brush pens. And it's crazy because I've hated them. And I still do. Like, I struggle so much with them. But man, they are almost like the pencils of the ink world. That's what I tell myself. Because like in the best thing I would ever want to draw with, which I haven't gotten the opportunity to, is like a dip pen, right? But sadly, that's a bit out of scope for me right now. Mostly because of hassle, and it's just, yeah. So like brush pen is the easy way to go for varied line weight. Now there is probably a reason why all the professionals choose a dip pen, and I'm not in any way trying to discount that. Rather, I feel like, I don't know, a brush pen with masterful technique has a lot of what I want to do in art. Now, of course, anything with masterful technique will look a lot better, just by virtue. But brush pen specifically, because of its incredible line weight and texture. But man, is it hard to control. I mean, look at me. I'm doing terrible with the fine liner right now. You guys just can't see that. Okay. Well, there we go. Jeez. So much for me wanting to have my window open during stream. I'm thinking of moving around my setup. Yeah. For next semester. We'll see. It's going to be a bumpy month, January. That month I'll be basically reduced to the bare necessities of wake up, do things, sleep. But it'll be fun. I just have to remember to draw as much as I can. Last night, I wanted to talk about this. So last night, I was ready for bed at 9 o'clock, which is the first time in a long time. Like I had nothing to do after, kind of after stream, other than some homework. And I was like, I don't want to do like a big drawing. Like I don't want to invest that kind of time right now. I wish I knew that Delano, Baron Das, I don't know how to pronounce his actual name, or drawing together. I would have totally joined them. But so like I just doodled in bed, and I've noticed something really great is I've kind of found my balance. I love doing undersketches with the non-photo blue and then inking it with the brush pen. And I realized in doodling I kind of dropped the undersketches because like it was a bit too much effort. I just wanted to put things on a page. And I realized that I was at a point where I could draw things and kind of surprise myself. I'd be like, I want to draw this, and then I do it. And I don't give much thought into the things. They just kind of happen. They're put into place. And that's the point of Drawbox. And of course, it hasn't been just Drawbox that have gotten me to this point. It's been tons of practice on the side, 50%, etc. Especially like the kind of Zeph draws and broken draw methods that are discussed of practicing and exercises. But regardless, all of this. And so it was very refreshing and very fulfilling and satisfying to see the fruits of my labor in that. Because like it's rare that I just doodle, like, or like that, I guess, with a brush pen. Because most of the time it's like I use a ballpoint, and there's lots of searching, which isn't bad or anything. Just like I would like to cut down on the searching lines. Now I feel like a confident pen does wonders for a drawing. Once again, look at Terrain Fiddler's gesture drawings. Like those like initial gestural sketches, they're beautiful. And once again, I will say that like I haven't seen many artists like him have these like very sharp ones. They're very sharp and decisive, very quick. And I think that helps because it, if you're drawing a bunch of, very strong people, or muscular people, you want those kind of like sharp, jagged lines. Actually, I'm not sure if jagged is the right word for it. Because, yeah, they aren't jagged. They're smooth, just like, I don't know, they have a force behind them. Art's pun kind of intended right there, but... Seems good. Not the smoothest of lines today. Somewhat ironic after talking about smooth and jagged lines and stuff. Also, earlier today, I have a big drawing that I want to get started on. It's not the one I was talking about a couple streams ago. That one's going to be very involved, very difficult. So this one could almost be seen as a pilot test for that. In fact, yeah, it definitely could be. I didn't even think of this drawing in terms of like exploring concepts that I'll use in the other, but I definitely can. Anyways, I'm very excited for this one. I was also, while I was thinking about it, I was like, man, I'm just excited for today's stream too. Like, we're going to see the fruit of our labor this stream. It'll be difficult. There will be mistakes. But I'm kind of too invested to do any redos by this point for the mouse. And then after this, we got to start considering what our next constructions will be, which I think I've said, I probably one stream said what I wanted to do, but I actually have no idea. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. Because like either I have things that are just straight up boxes or like ridiculously complex things that should not be subject matter of this lesson. So we'll figure it out. Oh, yikes. There we go. Some better line work. Let's do some ellipses. Thankfully, this stream we will not be need. We will need curves, but we will not really need ellipses. So, also we have some chores to do. There's like the under section of the mouse, which I failed to consider, so we need to add that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. I explained that very poorly. We'll look at that right after BRB. Decent precision, but pretty terrible accuracy. Part of me wants to blame. Look, I'm consistently have errors right there. That's funny. I want to blame the paper. I know that's not correct to do though, but I want to regardless. Let's do blame. Need some line work help. Okay, let's do one more string of ellipses. Also, for some odd reason, I'm like slightly out of breath, which I don't know why. I did scarf down like my dinner / lunch before this because I ran out of time. Maybe that's somehow a factor. I don't know. Cool. Okay, not the best ellipse right there at the end, but I'd say this is a somewhat decent warm up. So, yeah, we're going to go to BRB, do 2 minutes of ads, and then we're going to fix the bottom part of our mouse, and then continue with our construction. So, be right back, guys. And we're back. I just saw Uncomfortable use the word ham-fisted, which, like, not even in a weird way. That's just a silly word. Ham-fisted? You're going to be pretty ham-fisted? I don't know, man. Cool, anyways. So, Minecraft music's banging. Let's go. Mouse demo. Okay, I remember what we're going to talk about. I remembered I wanted to do something during BRB and I couldn't remember what it was. Anyways, cool. So, yes, here is our reference, right? And we have this section that goes like this, and also we have this little curve, but we're going to act like that doesn't exist. We have this section right here, right? And Uncomfortable doesn't really seem to use that. In fact, we'll just copy this image. Somewhere right here, I guess. So yeah, we have that section. It starts from like actually relatively larger and kind of wanes. And this, yeah, Uncomfortable just kind of made it uniform. Also, what are those stripes right there? Oh, okay, I see them. Okay. So I guess, yeah, mainly what he's trying to capitalize on is this then, rather than the kind of like indent. Even though he has this, which runs through it. Does he do that for the final drawing? Let's see. It's very tacked on there, you know? I see it. I would just rather have some points to do it with, right? And so, with that being said, we'll try our best to find some decent approximations for those. Trying to scoot around in my chair. Yikes. Cool. So, this can be a third, I feel. This can be a half very easily. This could be a fifth, but I'd rather do a fourth. And it touches in the middle of this third that we've drawn across. Right here at its highest. And then it goes, we don't want to go back too high. What would this be? I'd call that a fourth as well. That'll be at a fourth. So yeah, we'll have something like that. And just to be a bit more descript here, you can draw that line through. So yeah, that should get us kind of this and this curve. As for the buttons, once again, he did kind of just tack it on there. Doesn't seem like he had much of a basis for how I wanted to go about that. He had a slight bevel, it looks like, to indicate the sides of them. I think in our final one, we'll just have that line. That's a bit of the issue, because we'll have this line, but then this notch. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll start, keep it simple, stupid. We're going to start with this, right? And then we can decide how we'll add in the buttons. So let's attempt to implement this really quickly. Should probably start our timer as well. Yoink. There we go. Music player. There it is. Okay, cool. I'm going to upgrade that one day. I swear. So, we actually have a couple of helpful markers here already. We just want a third in this direction over here, which may prove to be a tiny bit laborsome. Let's see. A third on this side, which means we need the arrow. Do we have any arrows here? Doesn't look like it. We do have a diagonal. And so if we had the arrow right here, it would create the third. So we'll do the third. Yes. Whoa, my posture was bad. I was trying to relax. No. We ought to be awake. Tenacious. So boom, there is our third right here, which happens at the halfway mark. So right here. And then this happens. Oh, we didn't give a height for that one. We just said it's at the fourth though, right? So whatever's happening at the fourth. So we have this, and then we need to divide this into halves. Do we have anything that could do that easily for us? Does not seem like it. So we'll have to make our own half right here. There we go. And we said it's wherever it intersects right here. So it's going to be right there, which isn't too helpful, but whatever. And I'll actually start by plotting out that line. I do feel that this should be deeper than a half, but at this point, it's not worth all the mess, so. There we go. Now we know that we meet up in the halfway mark in the third right here. So here's the halfway mark. Boom. So we're going to intersect right here with our curve. Then our lowest will be a fourth over here. Yep. Kind of feels like a third overall, but we'll stick with a fourth over here. We technically can obtain the fourth from over here. Is there any better way to keep the fourth? Not really. We'd actually do it right here. Yeah. There we go. And it makes sense that it's going to be, you know, as a sanity check, it makes sense. We could have used this over here. We could actually use these all as sanity checks. But it makes sense that the fourth is going to be very close. So there we go. That means it intersects right here at the fourth. So now we just need to plot out the path. And I kind of want it to be very symmetrical. Oof, where does the bottom hits? Oh, I see. The bottom hits right at the, the fourth in the middle. Not right there. It doesn't intersect right there. That's where it hits the bottom of it. So it's going to go up, down, up. Up, down, up. That was deeper than I wanted, but I think that's fine. Oof. There we go. Okay, looks a bit more mouse-like now too. So let's continue to Uncomfortable's like little steps that we have here. So yeah, we'll start by subdividing everything. It looks like we don't do the planes that we can't see. Unless it looks like he subdivided that back plane, so we'll do the same. This is generally easier, but let's not, you know, distract ourselves. It's still quite difficult. But in terms of like measuring things and stuff, this is much more favorable than constantly trying to plot things to the VP. Nice. Ah, frick. Big diagonal. And yeah, he also did the back. No, just because he did it, does that mean we need to do it? Technically no, but it'll make finding that center plane easier, so we'll go ahead. Okay, so now we'll plot to the vertical VP, which was, like I said last time, generally the easiest one to plot to. Need a couple points here. Was it really this high? I remember it being 17 3/4 high. I mean, yeah, that's generally it. Well, there you go, so We'll go here. Boom. 2 points make a line, so we're done with that one. Hooray. That's inaccurate. This song has the same kind of like digital sitar or whatever it's called that Last Train Home has. Actually, no, it's just a full-on sitar. I hope I'm saying that correctly, or just identifying the instrument correctly. But it gave me Last Train Home vibes, which of course, yeah, I only know from JoJo, which may be disheartening to some. Oh, look at that. We're generally pretty accurate. Okay, that's most of the lines that we need. Or most of the, most of the dots that we need for these lines. And of course, like we learned last time, we're going to still double check the lines that we create, which means, like, sure, okay, so we have our center line like this. Oof, that's trippy. Center line like this. Oh, that's trippy. That's rough. Oh, okay. And then center line over here. I don't have any line weight. You know, it's all very uniform, so it's hard to identify which lines I need to draw to. Yep. I didn't sanity check these two, and it looks like they're converging rather quickly. My bad. So now, it may be tempting just to draw a line between these, but I'm going to make sure, because like we had inevitable human error in there, like Uncomfortable says. He doesn't say inevitable human error, but, you know, he says error, compounding error, right? So, you know, I have incentive, and I think this was, yeah, this is the axis where the VP is so far away that it's very hard to check, so we'll have to use the method of examining, oh, it looks like he does a cross-section for the bottom as well, which, you know what, let's do that. Actually, we have to, because we're going to be drawing on that, so, yeah. Oh, this feels weird. Something's off. I don't know what something is. Okay. So we can actually check this again. Kind of stalling for the other VP that we have to check, because that one's infinitely far away, and thus, or not infinitely far away, but very, very far away. And thus a much greater issue for Cav. This feels somewhat correct. Given that it's so far away, therefore hard to estimate. It's right here. Passes through that. We can just do this. Stack it to C. And yeah, so it looks like we need to go a little bit to the left to maintain accuracy. So to draw our line, instead of just passing through that one, we'll be a little bit to the left. Cool. Okay. So yeah, given that it's infinitely far away, it'd be more error to try to like estimate it than just draw through it. So we're just going to draw through it. Rather anticlimactically. Anticlimactically, is that a word? Bam. We go over here. What the heck? This dot. That's so hard to identify. There's too much going on over there. Move it in just to make it a little bit more convergent. Never hurts. I mean, it will, but cool. So that seems to be our center plane. A bit wonky, but we accept it for what it is. And now, yeah, those are our subdivisions. So It's now time to plot this into here. This is gonna, yeah, heads down. This is gonna be it, guys. This is rough. We'll start with this one because it's the most complex. Should I have made it that complex? I'm now regretting it a little bit, so yeah, probably not. Oof. Oh, God. This could be rough, guys. Oh, okay. Oh, we want to go from here to there. Like when you switch the perspective, it just blows up the brain. Yeah, this line's like very close to the actual axis, so I'm gonna call it like the law of close lines. I don't know. We need to make those somewhat convergent. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay, so, and yeah, now we don't have as many benefits. We can't verify certain things are horizontal without checking VPs, so that makes our lives that much more enjoyable. Crap. Ooh, okay. Well, let's divvy it into sections now. Cav, you messed up. Oh, Cav, you messed up. This is... Dude. I'm kind of glad you guys can't see the mess that this is. This is rough, man. Holy. Okay, so, I mean, as all complex things do, we'll start with the easiest, or we'll start somewhere. There's not really an easiest here. So, in fact, to make my life easier, I'm also going to cross-section this so I don't have to, well, no, we'll estimate the VP. Because why the frick not? Holy. This is where that pure, unbridled focus comes into play. Eh? Oh, wait, that's not the... I said, this is where that focus comes into play as I, like, plot the wrong edge. There's a 1. We're going to move it to the left a little bit. Nice. Hey. Feels a bit right. It's way better than guessing. That's for sure. So yeah, now we have 2 lines. Or 2 dots, which makes a line. We love geometry. We're going to use the rule of close lines to make sure that these are somewhat close to parallel. Sanity check. Those lines are somewhat close. Ah. Okay. So we'll do one at a time. We need to find half of that one, which is easy because we can just pass through here and here. So easy, done. No problem. And then we need to find the third from the remaining above portion. which is weird because I split into half twice, and I think there's a more optimal way of doing that. No, I just did the third of the upper half. So I didn't need that midline. Okay. To get the halfway line, these two planes will plot from here and here. Dude, I love this. This is cool. It's scary. It's scary as hell. But this is great. Weird. Flamboyant ass. Ruler holding. Okay. So this is why people are so scared of lesson 6. Rightfully so. Holy. So we want to get the upper third here. We already have the cross line. We need to find the midline. This line is... Huh? This line goes through the center. Whose line is this? Huh? Where? Where's the... Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm just trying to diagnose my lines, because this diagonal goes to this edge of the box, but this is the center line. Oh. Kavel, this is the test of attention and patience. So yeah, we need to get the upper third of this box. We already have a diagonal. Can we get a fourth is the question, or can we get, have this easily? Yes. Because we need the half over here as well as here. Which means this segment gets divided in half. Should that be done with which kind of line? This diagonal or the other? I see both, but that doesn't mean we need both. Looks like this one's used the most, so we'll use that. We'll double check that we're using the correct lines. We weren't. Holy, that would have been bad. This one right here. Because that should go through the diagonal. Yep. It's like untangling a bunch of wires. That's what this feels like. Do we need the center up here? Yes, we do. So we can also do a diagonal there to get us 2 points. That diagonal can be made in this direction. Oh, that's weird. This diagonal just so happens to be where we need it. Well, if it just so happens to be there, then it works out. If it achieves the same effect here, of course we cannot forget the law of close lines, and these seems like it obeys that. So go to the top. Nice. Okay, and we set up all of this to more easily find the fourth over here that we need. My posture sucks. Let's fix that. Okay. And now we can draw a line between these two. Now, do I need that, though? Do I need to actually draw this line? For here, which we did earlier this stream, we do, to indicate this. Yeah, so we only need it in that one quadrant right here. Law of close lines. You need to stop saying that before someone thinks it's an actual thing. Okay. This we only need to indicate right here. Then we can find our third. Oh, wait. Yes. I mean, yeah. There's our third. And you know what? We're going to do it twice. Because I'm crazy like that. Outer World soundtrack, let's go. There's our next third. Why do we have the other third over here? Because that's where the bottom of the top curve goes. And that's in the left quadrant, so that'll also land here. So there's the very front tippity top of the mouse. We have this point. Right here. And to more easily find the center of that, we'll just do another diagonal. Nice. Then law of close lines. Let's see. Yeah, since this one's closer, it's going to be less convergent than those further away. Or like less slope, I don't know. Whatever term you want to use. This is the start of the mouse, right here. Front of the mouse, the connection point. And we have this part at, and at... Did I use a fifth? Kavel, I swear to God. Who gave you this point? Who do I need to talk to? Let's see, that looks like a third. No, it's a fifth. I did a fifth for that. I need better annotations or something in the future. That's something to carry with me. So yeah, over here we want to get the first fifth. I think I labeled it incorrectly here. That should be a blue line. I think that was probably an ad hoc decision. Oh wait, no, that was the decision for this. Ah, I see. And that's why there's this. Yeah, there's a quarter here. Is it a quarter? Yeah. And then there's a fifth. So if we need both a quarter and a fifth, then well, we already have our quarter solved. If we look back here, yeah, we're looking at this. But why do we need that? No, we need a horizontal quarter, so this wouldn't give us much. So I'd rather stray away from that. Regardless, to make this fifth, we need the center lines, which means here. And we need a vertical line. This one, it's very close to the VP, so we won't need to do much work for it, but I'd rather be as highly accurate as possible if we're that close to the axis that the VP lies on. Nope, I don't feel it. It's weird, like, don't, trust your intuition, don't trust your feelings about it, if that makes sense. Because, like, you're going to feel bad and gross about all of your art, but your intuition about the things, I don't know. I feel like there's a difference there, and it's important. However, I may not be smart enough to tell you guys what that difference is, so let's make that 5th. And in making this 5th, we create a 4th. Nope, we don't. I lied. Haha. I already have one of those lines on accident. That's huge, I think. Yes. We intersect right here. Nice. And we can create the 4th by going right here. There's our 4th. This is some fitting music. The vocals were a bit unfitting, but I don't know, some beep boops makes me feel smart. Montage music. Midline, there. Let me get that 4th in here. Nice. See what that looks like. Ugh, my goodness. Yeah, complexity is the death of all things, and that seems to be the case here. We need the other 3rd for this end. It's an overall 3rd. And we can easily compute that by drawing a line from here to here. There's our 3rd. Yep. Okay, it looks like all the major points are plotted out for those two. Easier than I thought. I'm gonna do the next lower one down here. Trying to remember. Next time, I'm not sure if we should add annotations to this or what, but I would prefer to add annotations, but I'm not sure if that's the right choice. It seems we went to what looks to be a 3rd down here, a vertical 3rd, for the start of the bend of the mouse, and then ended up there. And that vertical 3rd was this lowest quarter down here that we constructed. Which means we need the center line for that. And with this center line is actually quite important, so we'll just construct one throughout all of this, which we'll do through a simple bada bing. There we go. And then we need another one. I'd rather not. We can, yeah, why not? Decrease complexity by just relying on our what I'll call the stable VP. Oh yikes! So much for stable. The one that I know how to measure the most accurately. So now we have like this. Draw a slight line through there and complete it. We didn't leave much room to draw this, or like, you know, the line isn't that long, so there will be some inaccuracy, but I think it's still better than the alternatives. Nice. Oh, went a bit over right there. Yikes. I think that's acceptable for what this is. Cool. Nice. So now we wanted that third. It's going to be a vertical third. The way I remember how to do thirds is there's like a little arrow you draw. We can talk about it. For anybody who may watch this sometime in the future, somehow, some way, there's you can't see my mouse. See number 3 on the top one? It's an arrow, right? It goes up and down. And I kind of see that as like where the lines are going to come from, right? So it's pointing up, so it's going to come from up and go down. If you rotate it to the right, right? Then it would be coming from the right, horizontal instead of vertical. So that's kind of how I try to remember this. And some Manifold Garden OST? Dude, okay. What? Hell yeah. Now, is this my own playlist? Yeah, so I'm going to get songs that I love, but I feel like it's fitting. So, but anyways, yeah, we just need the third right there. Where we decided it will start bending. And I'm actually going to do both sides of the arrow to give myself 2 points to work with. So then I don't need to rely on going to the VP. And since we know that the curve starts at the center of the third, we'll plot a point. It's an important one. There, we go here, and it curves up to the back corner. Why do we have a point right there? Was that intentional? Oh yeah, I did 2/5 here. And that third just so happens to intersect, I think. Is that a third? No, that's the second fifth. We have the markings to create a third up here. I think that's just an accident, though. So yeah, we need to plot a vertical fifth and a horizontal fifth. This is probably one of the harder ones. And it's all within one small part, so. Well, that's inaccurate. Ooh. Come on, Cav. I have an inaccuracy with a diagonal, which means we should probably draw diagonals all the way through. Or like use all 3 points to help align ourselves and just the 2 closest ones to us. I may explain more of what I mean there in a review. So yeah, if we wish to create a fifth, we need to do all the center lines. So we're going to be working in this upper corner. I think we have our... So yeah, we want the first fifth, which is these 2 lines, and then the lowest fifth, which is these 2 lines. And the caveat we had to deal with in this one is these are both squares. So I wasn't sure if we could trust the same line. I don't think we can. It seems we need to plot all 4 lines. Oh no, we don't need that upper green one. The top right, this upper green horizontal one. Yeah. Alrighty, so we'll divvy it up. Something's wrong. Something, I don't know. And here, give me a quick second. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Where'd I put my pen? Nice, nice. Completely lost where I was. Okay, so yeah, we're going for those 2/5. Do we need... Wait a second. This third is off. The line should be coming from up and down. But I used this instead. I see. So, I think I did it wrong. Did I? What's going on with that one? I think we're just going to stick with it. Because I think it works out on accident, because it's so close to being square, so we'll deal. So going back here. This one looks like I used... To gauge the top of that, looks like I used... Divide this in half at least. Oof, yeah, this line does not go the line that we just attempted to plot. Because of this confusion, I'm just going... Hey. Hey, hello? That's what I thought. The line I plotted to the VP wasn't looking that good. This also doesn't look too correct, but eh. So now we have that quadrant. We all needed to set up. See. Nice. Now we can do our fifths. That's our first vertical fifth, which since it's so small, I'm just going to approximate without measuring to the VP. I'm so evil. And then our horizontal one is going to be down here, which is this to mid. There we go. It's the back corner of this. And we also have a happy accident of this being part of the curve of the back. And we need vertical third over here. And screw it, we'll just do it the harder way. Or the less concise way, I guess. Because this is technically easier for me, it's just a bit nasty. In terms of keeping things clean. There we go. Now we can have our vertical third. Right here. We draw that downwards. It's so small, I'm just going to approximate. Nice. And then over here, we want horizontal. Both of the lines that do that, so. This is another accident, but I think that's cool. What is this line even going? Who is this? Oh, I see. It's weird how that works out. But I'll take it. And so yeah, the thirds are here and here. And we'll do that again over here. So now we have, this is where it will intersect. Begin its curve. Bottom of this lands. Almost right here. We're out of routes. Let's go. Okay, I think that's all the dots. Let's start putting it together. Here we go. Oh, geez. Okay, let's start with the straight lines. Those will be the easiest. This goes to the lower third. Then we have the back quarter to front. Okay. What's the easiest line to do next? Probably this curve in the front. Where we go from here to here. Nice. Then we have the curve from half here to here. Remember to use branch method for the one that connects to this. I'm going to thicken up this line. Okay, then the center curve, which curves up. It hits down at the lower third right here. Then ends right up here. So curve up, down, up. Eh? Should be hitting right here, not right there. Cool. Okay. That was a harder part. Then we go from the center point here up to here, the one guided by fifths. No. That's the third, the 2/3, yeah. So we go from here to here. Do we draw that? Is the question. No, we don't. We just worry about the silhouette. Brick. Okay, we don't draw that center line. Dang it. Whatever. Yeah, I remember uncomfortable saying just worry about the silhouette. Whatever. Okay, well, that makes our job a little bit easier. Okay. lesson learned there. Frick. Now for the hardest line. Like, I'm comfortable said it's going to curl in the back more. There you go. Okay. And I say let's do the bottom, because why not? Never mind. Yeah, sure, why not? I looked at it, I was like, I remember the bottom being easier, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh, maybe not. What was I doing in this one? Cav, come on. Yeah, let's do it. I'm upset about that middle line, but we'll deal. Okay, yeah. So, for the bottom, where should we start? There's a lot of lines here, and I think it's intimidating me more than it should. So we know for a fact that we need to subdivide this into 4 segments, it seems. We could do that relatively easily, because we know there's a point here and there's a point here. Therefore, we have a line. And that should go back to the back line, which is this one. Nice. And then from there, we could subdivide further. It goes from here to here. From here to here. Which gives us a center, which we already had. Do we have 2 points? Doesn't seem so. So we have to use the VP. Man, my bird cam has been going off like crazy. The crows were here a lot today, but I doubt the rest of these are crows. Yep, all doves. There's one with the one picture it sent me with the crow. It says looked like he was smiling. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we need to extrude to the VP. We should rely on this axis more. It's quite accurate. So yeah, we have a paper moved a bit. So there's our center. Oh god, which line is the back line? I assume it's this one. We can correct it if it's wrong. Drawing a half line there because I don't know where to extend it. That's the back line. There we go. Okay, it's one part done. So what was Kavel thinking when I did this? Let's see, this looks like... Got it from that. This looks like I set it up for a very strange fifth. Let's see, I have a diagonal. No, it was crafted by finding this line, which was created via diagonal, this longer diagonal. Strange. This one was created. Well, we'll do our best to mimic it. And yeah, like Uncomfy said, we don't have to worry about that side of everything. Did he draw? No, yeah, he didn't. So I won't worry about it either. So yeah, it looks like I still stuck with the fifth right here, and that's what this was calculating that fifth. So we'll do that. This zone right here. Let's see, that fifth. I mean, yeah, we kind of have it in the bag already. In fact, we can use this line that we calculated to get our midline. I don't trust it, though. Oh, you dropped my ruler. That was a weird set of noises. I remember why I saved this song. This one reminded me a ton of Beastars. Well, we were actually quite accurate there. Shout out to past Cav. Maybe I should have trusted him a little more. And see, it also seems we'll need a diagonal over here so we can get our fourth by doing that. Let's create that fifth, which is done from this diagonal. There's our fifth. Extend that to the VP. Okay. Then we got this via mirroring, but we actually only need to do one side. So let's, next time, another personal critique is to, let's see, this goes right here. It's right here. Another personal critique would be mindful of which side of the box we're drawing so we don't have to do all that extra geometry up there and do it down here. But to get this, let's see, that was a quarter of a quarter of a quarter. So relatively easy to define. We just draw this line through. If I remember correctly, there's like tons of optimizations we could have done with that one. It was somewhat sour that we didn't. So there. We want to find the middle of this. Boom, we have that. Let's see how many we had. That half, and then we half it one more time. And we can, let's see, the half was right here. So this line can actually extrude that forward. Find that final half. Now we're missing another half to do that with. So what we can do. Wait. No, we don't. We just need the point. We don't even draw the line. Yes, we do. We do need to draw the line because we want to find the absolute half of this. So I'll just use an approximation. Let's see. So the further we get, the more slope's going to increase. So we'll just compare it to this one and be a little bit less sloped than that one. There we go. And now we want to find the midline of this area. So we'll actually extend that line further. Oh. So we have this line. So it means be a bit less that. So our midpoint is right here. Nice. Then we go back here. I just need to figure out what proportions I was using back there because it looks a bit silly. I hate reverse engineering this. I see. It's a third of this quarter. So we need to get this. We actually need to find that quarter as well. So I figured out these two coordinates, technically this one because you can't see the other. So we'll begin with that. Yay, more Outer Worlds. Let's go. That sounded so unenthusiastic, but I promise I am. Echoes of the Eye, baby. I should have checked that one. That one's pretty divergent. Whatever. Okay. I think I have less lines down here because I'm stupid. But also I projected from the top sketch, which, while cool, Didn't help me much. These two lines will connect. There's our fourth. Now we need to find our third. Which is the lower third in height. It means it's more close to the center, so it's going to be a third that exists over here. It's going to be very squished. And let's see, where is it? So if it's going to be in that means the arrow is going to come this way. So we can actually meet this. Yeah. So third is where the diagonal meets, right here. We can do another third for funsies. There's our next third. We have a line. That line intersects the fourth that we created, which is right here. Cool. Then we have our curve, which goes from here to whatever this line is, which I need to decipher what I was doing. We have a half diagonal here, and then a short diagonal here. I don't know what that means, though. Like, what was I thinking? Okay, we can just coordinate this out in our brains. We know it's the diagonal of a fourth mirrored, so it's doing this. Diagonal of a fourth. And then it's the upper half going like this towards the center. So I think it's this line. Yeah, like I said, it's this diagonal meeting with this. So it's going to be right here. And then we just draw a line to that downwards. I really don't know what line I just made, but I copied it, so. You know? Okay. Alrighty, I think that's it. start building it. So yeah, we're going to reinforce this line right here. Then we go over here with a curve. And we come up to here. I messed it up a little bit. Nice. Okay. Now we have to contact this point because that's the middle. Do this curve. Nice. And then we have this big curve. This probably could have been the job for a French curve, but... Ah, I hit the wrong point. Well, nope. No, I didn't. Oh, thank God. It's still a bit messy, but... Holy moly. Okay, we're going to call it there for today. Oh, yo! Hello, hello! Man, this, I don't know when you sent that message. How long has it been? Only a minute. Okay, huge! Wait, is this Dio? There's no way this is the Dio from Drawbox. It could be. Dio Tins, well, welcome. Regardless, we're actually wrapping up here. After a bit of a hellish construction, a couple mistakes, but very focused. Apologies for the delay. Hope you're doing well. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Thank you for stopping by and welcome to the channel. Yeah, it's the stream ran a little bit longer, but I'm still glad to see a new face. But yeah, unfortunately, we're wrapping up here for today. I'm so mad about that mistake. This would have turned out so much better if I didn't do that. Oh, huge. Thank you for the follow. Well, guess what? We'll be here tomorrow at 3, same time, same place. So, and we'll be wrapping this up. I'm so mad about that. I can't get over it. In fact, here, wait. I do need to add one line, though. Actually, no, I don't, because you won't be able to see it. So, cool. Huge. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up here, everybody. Thank you, Diotins. I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. For joining. And yeah, so as a quick review, don't do interior lines. I don't know why I did that. Total mistake. Complexity is evil. Law of similar lines. There was something else, but I can't remember. Oh, wait, what's up? How many hours ago was 3 for you? Oh, yeah, so it is currently 1:36. So it would have been an hour and 36 minutes ago. Or sorry, 4:36. So it would have been an hour and 36 minutes ago. Oh, you're in the EU. Gotcha. Wow, it must be really, really early for you. My goodness. Yeah, so yeah, it's we stream at 3 p.m. Central Time. So an hour and 37 minutes ago as of speaking. I think. Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping all the way from the EU. Thank you. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. Once again, thank you guys, and we will be streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. See you then.